Hey there, this is Christina Johnson, Certified Transformational Nutrition Coach, and I wanted to talk with you for just a minute today about a question that I've been receiving actually a few times lately over the last couple of weeks, and that is this. People are asking me, if I am trying to cut back on sugar, is it still okay to eat fruit, or do I need to avoid that too? And that's really a great question. I remember several times in the past where I was trying to watch how much sugar I was eating or how many carbs, and I would almost feel guilty for eating something like pineapple or a banana because I felt like, it was too much sugar. And, if you're familiar with me at all, you know that one of the most important things to me is having a healthy relationship with food. And so feeling guilty about eating something like fruit was not indicative that I had a healthy relationship with food at that time. And so I think it's really important to address this question. And I'm curious if you've ever wondered this, or if you've ever felt guilty for eating something, that should be fairly healthy like fruit. So if you can relate at all, just, type yes or let me know in the comments. I would be interested to, just kind of hear from you on that topic. So let me share with you the short answer first. And the short answer is yes. It is definitely okay to eat fruit as a part of your healthy eating plan. And with that, however, I do want to add that there are a couple factors to kind of keep or take into consideration and to help you figure out, what types of fruit and how much are best for you based on your goals. So I want to give you kind of a couple tips just to think about in that area. Before I do that though, I just want to explain my answer of yes, it's okay to eat fruit. And there's a couple just quick reasons that I can share with you. And number one is that fruit, when you eat it in its whole form, so I'm talking about eating a whole apple or some berries or some fresh pineapple, fruit in that whole natural, unprocessed form has fiber in it. And the fiber will slow down the digestion of that fruit, and it will cause more of a gradual increase and decrease in your blood sugar levels. Whereas other fruit or other foods that have been more processed and the fiber's been removed, that will cause your blood sugar to spike rapidly and to drop rapidly. And that's what can cause a lot of, health issues or help, cause you to not feel so good. So because of the fiber, that really, slows down that digestion and makes it much less of an impact on your blood sugar. In addition to that, we all know fruit has lots of great vitamins and minerals, nutrients, and antioxidants that really are great for our health, for our immune system, and so we want those nutrients. And so eating that fruit that contains that nutrients is very supportive of our health. And the other reason that I think fruit is a good thing to include in your diet is because, if we're honest, there are times where you just want something a little bit sweet to eat. And so if your choice is to eat some fresh pineapple or a tub of ice cream, let's go for the pineapple. And so, I think that fruit is a great option for when you're trying to cut back sugar, to choose that as a better, more natural source of sugar, so you can still get that feeling of eating something sweet without spiking your blood sugar and derailing all of your goals. So hopefully that kind of helps explain a little bit about why fruit really is okay. Now, with that being said, I do want to say that there are, a couple just caveats to keep in mind when you're deciding how much and what fruit to eat. And here's the thing that when I'm working with my clients, I tell them all the time is that everybody is different. So just because I'm saying, yes, it's okay to eat fruit, doesn't mean that that's, a blanket statement for everyone to follow completely. So you have to figure out what's best for you. So for example, first of all, keep in mind that, as I mentioned, hopefully you noticed, I'm talking about whole, natural, unprocessed fruit. So things like fruit juice are not as healthy to be eating or drinking in that case, because fruit juice has the fiber removed. A lot of the nutrients have been destroyed in the processing, and so fruit juice can spike your blood sugar quite a bit. So I would avoid it in that form. Dried fruit is something that I would eat in moderation, because again, it's condensed, it's the sugar is in more of a compact form, and so you're getting more sugar with each of it. And it's pretty easy to overdo dried fruit because they're so small and bite-sized that it's easy just to eat a whole bunch of them without really thinking about it. So dried fruit is okay, but in moderation, and make sure you're getting dried fruit that is unsweetened, because a lot of the fruit has sugar added to it, which you want to avoid. And then just be aware of all the other other like fruit products out there that are overly processed, like fruit strips. Even if they're natural, they've probably been processed. There might be extra sugar added to them. Some of the nutrients or fiber might be destroyed. So when you're choosing to eat fruit, opt as much as possible for whole, natural, unprocessed fruit. Okay, so here's the other thing to keep in mind when choosing to eat fruit. It really depends on what your goals are. So, for example, let's say that you are wanting to lose weight and maybe you have a decent amount of weight to lose, then you probably want to be more cautious with how much fruit you're eating. You don't have to limit it entirely, but maybe you only want to eat 1 or 2 servings of fruit a day. Another thing to keep in mind is if your goal is to lose weight or to really manage your blood sugar levels, then you might want to choose fruit that's lower on the glycemic index, that has less sugar in it. And so things like berries are a great option. Citrus, like lemons and limes, which we don't usually eat plain, but those are good options. And then you want to avoid ones that are higher on the sugar index. So that would be things like tropical fruits, mangoes, papayas, bananas can be a little bit higher. So you just want to be aware of what types of fruit you're choosing to eat if your goal is weight loss or if you really are needing to be careful about your sugar intake for some reason. And then the other thing that I would recommend is, as always, just pay attention to how you feel. So if there's a particular fruit that causes you to feel tired or bloated afterwards, or maybe it causes you to crave more sugar. Like sometimes things like watermelon, some people just feel like they just can't stop and they just want more and more. So pay attention to how you feel, and if there's a particular fruit where you just feel off after eating it, then you might want to limit or avoid that fruit. And so it really just all does come down to paying attention to how your body is responding to those particular foods. And I know that this can feel kind of overwhelming at times because especially if you're trying to cut out sugar, it's in everything. It's hard to know where to start. It can feel like you have to change everything you're eating, and that you have to even be careful of healthy things like fruit. And so, and I know from personal experience, it took me, I don't know, probably a couple years to really feel like I got the hang of this way of eating. But it doesn't have to take you that long. And that's really, truly why I became a health coach, is because I want to shorten that learning curve for other people. And so, that's exactly why I designed my Sugar Reset program. This program, I guide people step by step through the process of cutting back on processed foods and refined sugars, adding in lots of whole natural foods, more of a clean eating approach. But then we also deal with all those reasons why you know what you should be doing, but you're not doing it. Because let's be honest, most of us have a pretty good idea of what's healthy and what's not. But unfortunately, there's so many things that get in the way. Things like emotional eating, being stressed, being tired, feeling lonely, not getting enough sleep, and then you just don't have the energy to cook, a lack of meal planning. I mean, there's lots of things that get in the way, and those are the things that I can help you address and, figure out a solution to. Because, I can tell you there is so much freedom that comes from, eating healthy and cutting back on the sugar. You can start to feel less guilty about what you're eating. You can feel full and satisfied for the first time in years if you've been a chronic dieter. And it can just completely transform your health, your energy, your weight, and your relationship with food, as well as your confidence about yourself. So, if those sound like things that you would love some support, encouragement, and accountability with, I would love to schedule a time to talk with you. I'd love to offer you a free discovery session, and we can just figure out if the Sugar Reset program would be helpful for your goals or not. So if that's something that you'd be interested in talking about, then you can just, put a comment below, send me a private message, or if you go to ChristinaJohnsonWellness.com/apply, then you can just fill out a couple questions to let me know you're interested in a free discovery session. So I hope this information has been helpful. If it has, would you please share this so that other people can get this information as well? If you're watching on Facebook, make sure you like my page so that you can see future videos. And if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to subscribe to my channel so that you're notified when I put more information and videos up. If you have any questions or comments, just post them in the comments and I will come back and check that, throughout the next few days. So feel free to post questions. I hope you're having a great day and feel free to go enjoy some fruit. Bye.